What's up? What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Niner Sickness, with the Niner Sickness podcast. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone is good. Everyone is doing great. I have a special guest with me today on the Niner Sickness Report. A lot of you know him. He has a great channel on YouTube. It is growing and it's growing quickly. Big 49er faithful, loves his Niners, knows his sports. But before I bring him in, I just want to say what's up, Mike Jackson. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. What's up, Don? Welcome. Those that are coming in, welcome, welcome. With no further ado, let me bring in my boy from his channel, CJ Ruthless Sports. What's up, brother? Oh, man, we got here. Sorry about that, guys. He got out of here. How did he get out? Hold on, guys. He must have got out and came back in. Did you? Can you hear me, Ruthless?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Did you get out while I was doing the intro and come back in?
No, it wasn't that. I came out a little bit quickly, and then it kind of because I had an issue with the phone.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, welcome. How you doing, brother?
Hey, doing good, dude. How's it going?
I'm doing good, doing good. Finally, have you on my show, man. I appreciate you being here. Let me change that name because that's not who you are. Give me a second. Sorry about that. Yeah, man. So before we started, let everybody know a little bit about yourself, where they can find you, who you are, and so forth.
Yeah, on social media, if you want to look at me at Twitter or Instagram, it's CG Ruthless. YouTube channel CG Ruthless Sports. Had my channel for at least over a year. It's grown a little here and there. I like to speak truthfully and honestly, not be homerish, but I do like the team in general, how we are, but we got to keep it 100. But any of the realistic 49 Fans like to hear what I got to say, then go no further to my channel. But huge shout out to Niner Sickness for having me on the show.
Right on, right on, right on. Like I like to say, and I'll bring it up again, I like to say is wipe your feet. When you're in my show, wipe your feet before entering. That is, please wipe your feet before entering. Smash that like button for your boy, Niner Sickness. So let me ask you, CJ, how long have you been a 49er fan, and who introduced you to the red and gold?
What made me a fan? My brother, God rest his soul. If it wasn't for him, I probably would have been a Cowboys fan. But yeah, my brother was an inspiration. Got to watch the Niners as a kid. It's all like Steve Young was a guy that I looked up to, watched ever since then, and never left since. So it's like the red and gold is my passion. But even though I got family with the Cowboys, it's kind of like divided, a little here and there. So could have gone either way. But Niners was just the team I loved. The red and gold, the commodity, the way we are, it's not far off or traveling. I just like the color, the red, and I just like the passion of the faithful. It's just something that fits me more.
Yeah, yeah. So that's cool. So your brother is the one that introduced you to the red and gold. Uh, that's cool, man. That's cool. It's nice when we have somebody that we respect and appreciate in our lives. They can introduce us to something, whether it's football, whether it's certain things in life. So, man, that's so cool. So let me ask you, who's your all-time favorite player on the offensive side, and then choose one on the defensive side, real quick for me.
Steve Young for offense.
All right,
Grew up
all
watching
right.
him. Defense, man, defense is a tough one, but I have to go with Ronnie Lott, even though he wasn't on my time. But he was a scary dude.
Ron Light, yeah, coming out of USC was definitely a. I got the opportunity. I'm going to tell you my age. I'm going to show my age here, but I was watching football before he even came into the Niners, before he was even drafted. So I've been watching 49ers for a very, very long time. Before Joe Montana was there, before Bill Walsh was there, I was watching the 49ers. And let me tell you, the 49ers were not a team to watch back then. They were a laughable team. They were the Jets or the Cleveland Browns of this era back then. But Bill Walsh was hired by Eddie DeBartolo, and the rest is history. Joe Montana was drafted in the third round from Notre Dame, and then we drafted a couple of a safety and a corner, and then we just started taking off, man. And the rest is history. Five Super Bowls later, man. Now the Niners are known as a team of legacy, a team of that people look up to, man. And we're trying to get back to that form, and it seems like we're struggling a little bit with Kyle Shanahan, and it seems like a lot of Niner fans are kind of mixed, and some of them like Shanahan, some of them want him fired, they want him gone, they're fed up with you. Let me ask you, what is your perspective so far in your assessment of Kyle Shanahan? What is your thoughts, your true thoughts of Kyle Shanahan so far in 5 years that he's been here?
Well, it took him some time to build this team overnight. So it's like, I felt like his play calling can be sometimes good at times, but then sometimes it's like you're scratching your head a little bit. But I feel like if you let him go, there's no other better coach to replace him. So it's like I'm in between the middle of it. Like, there's some thoughts of me of saying, man, this guy needs to get out of here. But no, in my mindset, he is the right guy for the coach. You may not like what he does, but at the end of the day, you got to execute, you got to be able to excel in his play calling, or else it's going to not be exactly the way he wants it. But the last few weeks, I've questioned his play call a little bit, little bit. But do I feel like he should be gone? No.
That's a good assessment. We do have to hold our coaches and our players accountable based on what they're producing on the field, whether it's coaching or executing the plays. But we got to make sure that we are not what I like to call it in our feelings when we make assessments of things. Or you know, Kyle Shanahan, especially in the game against Arizona, very questionable play calling. We didn't run the ball very effective when we could have. We faced a defense that was not very respected against the run, and yet we lacked running. And we had a rookie quarterback that ran the ball, regardless whether it was designed or not. He ran the ball more than your running backs. And whenever you find yourself in a situation like that, especially with a rookie quarterback in his first game, running the ball more than your two running backs, that's a problem.
Yeah, it is a problem because you could have actually got more touches with Elijah Mitchell and Trey Sermon. Trey Sermon got one carry, and I'm like, what? This guy only got one carry? He could have got at least maybe about 10 more carries at least. And then Elijah Mitchell maybe about 5 to 6 more carries, and then maybe you could have gave the rookie some more confidence. But instead, they designed plays kind of like how Shanahan did with RG3 a little bit. I'm kind of thinking, man, is he trying to kill in Trey Lance's career a little bit with those run plays? And for Trey Lance, he has to learn how to slide down a little bit so he doesn't get hurt.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. And he also needs to learn to go over players and not necessarily go low. Everybody expects him to go low. When he was stopped in the end zone, I felt that if he would have went over Simmons instead of going towards Simmons, he could have went in for the touchdown. He's a big body player. So, but that's just part of him being a rookie, bro. It's just him part of him being a rookie. So that is expected. What's up, Luke Luna? How you doing, brother? Luke Luna says, CJ, what's up, my guy? Those dudes on the round table are clowns. TZ is a cool, and others two guys think they are two cool kids in class. I guess that he must have watched one of your round table shows.
Oh, yeah. I am on the NFC West Roundtable. I am a proud representative of the 49ers. Anybody else who hasn't seen that roundtable, you guys need to watch it because I did test Stevie A. Smith's Seahawks situation, and I kind of gave him some good testing on his team. I even went on, I went trashing on his team a little bit just to mess with him a little bit, and he kind of took it like a good joke, and that's all it is. Good entertainment for the roundtable. We could debate football. We could either brag about something or just talk smack in general, or either just be realistic about the team. That's what's interesting about that roundtable.
Yeah, man. One thing I've learned is debate is healthy if it's done the right way. people can debate things, but at the end of the day, people need to realize that you guys come together for a show for the viewers to watch, and nothing should be taken personal. You guys can debate with one another and speak your minds, and at the end of the day, still be friends. And I think when people can do that and manage to do that, it's a good show to watch. It's when people start getting butthurt and getting offended with what people are saying, and they take it personal when things can get like a little bit of haywire. But I don't expect to see that from you guys. I think all four of you guys are pretty down to earth, and you guys just keep it football.
Yeah, behind the scenes, we debate about what's going to happen, but I even told him if it's anything out of line, let me know so I can know my lane and all that stuff. So it's like we work just fine. They always seem to like how I bring to the table. I have a different personality that they like, and it's kind of a good thing to debate. And I'm getting like when we go to AZ Sports Channel, we get maybe about 100 more people now watching that stream, which is entertaining.
So let me ask you, being part of that round table, whoever represents the Cardinals must be riding Cloud Nine right now, talking about his Cardinals, huh?
My boy Az, man, he's just having a good time. He's enjoying the celebration. Actually, he was kind of mocking me with the sunglasses and the hat, and he was saying I'm pulling a CG style, and I thought it was kind of funny. But it's all entertainment and all fun. So it's like this guy's having the best year of his season, but we'll wait and see what happens with the Cardinals. But so far, they are pretty good.
Yeah. We're still waiting to see the Cardinals of old. Last year they started 6-2, and they went up ending the season 8-8. So we have to wait and see. But yet they do look better in offense with the addition of AJ Green and also the kid from Connors, the running back from the Steelers. And Kyle Murray's coming into his own, man. He's definitely becoming that quarterback they anticipated him to be. So hopefully in a year or two, Trey Lance will be at that level, if not better. Let me ask you something, CJ. The game against the Cardinals, you've seen Lance in action. Yeah, he made some mistakes. He threw an interception. The play calling wasn't great, but I want to ask you your perspective of what you saw on film or the game itself. What are your thoughts on Trey Lance? Is he ready to continue to be a starter, or should they continue to develop him and allow Jimmy to start?
Okay, I'll get to that assessment of Trey Lance. You expect growing pains from a rookie. He threw the first pick in the drive, which I kind of had a feeling it would happen. But for a guy first hasn't played much of a snap since maybe like almost 2 years, but played one snap in college ever since. But it's going to take some time for this guy to develop. But I think you have to go with a veteran like Jimmy. A healthy Jimmy is like you got to be more accurate with this guy. And I think the way that Jimmy runs his offense is what Shanahan wants. But Trey Lance can give you a lot, but it's going to take some time. I think in year 3 you're going to see this guy strive. So like the way I've seen Trey Lance is I like the fact he runs, but he needs to think about sliding so he doesn't get any concussions or any possible injuries. And Shanahan's play calling was a little bit of a questionable mark, but I feel like the kid's got a bright future. That's what I can say about him.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you, CJ. There's a lot of things that I liked when I saw this game. A lot of potential for going forward. I see how the defenses play different when they're facing Trey compared to facing Jimmy. That one play where he threw to Debo, and I think it was 16, 17 yards reception, where he drew the corner in because the corner thought he was going to run. If that would have been Jimmy, Jimmy would have went to his check down, which was juice for maybe 4 or 5 yards, and that's what Jimmy does. But on the same token, I believe that Trey, even though his potential is high, he's still raw, and there's a lot. He's trying to process too much, and he has too much on his plate, and he needs to kind of learn how to process that much quicker. And having the Jimmy, regardless of what people think about Jimmy, whether they think he should be here or not, we have the luxury of having Jimmy. The Jets don't have that. They have to play Zach Wilson and have him go through his bumps and bruises. The Jags don't have that. The Patriots don't have that. The Bears, Dalton was his first year there with the Bears, so they don't really have that either. So I understand why they're playing these young rookies right away. But the Niners have the luxury of playing Jimmy when Jimmy is healthy, and I understand that's the key word, health, right? When he's healthy, when is he healthy? He's always getting hurt. I understand the frustration, but when healthy, he wins games. And this allows Trey to continue to develop, work on his mechanics, not being forced to think too much, not being forced to try to be out there in the field, trying to process everything that's coming his way. He's able to continue to watch Jimmy perform on the field and take note of what to do and what not to do. So, as much as I want to see Trey because he's a new toy, patience is a virtue. Be patient. Allow Jimmy to play, win games for us, and then we'll bring in the young kid towards the end of the year or maybe next year. And by that time, he'll be more. He'll have more underneath his knowledge, so he won't have so much on his plate. Because one thing I saw, CJ, I don't know if you saw this, he lacked he missed a couple of players because he was thinking too much. He was trying to process too much, and that time that it took to him to process, the players that were open weren't open anymore. We all know the windows in the NFL close fast. You have to react and not think. And if you're thinking too much, corners are going to cover. So I think once he learns how to calm things down, he'll be able to process quicker and make faster decisions. I don't know if you agree with that or if you want to add or to that assessment.
Well, that's what you expect from a rookie. He's going to have to go through that progression and learn the offense. But I guess for some reason, it's better to play Jimmy right now than to play Trey. But Trey, it's like you got to see what the kid's got to do. Like even if it's at a point where we're not going to make the playoffs, then maybe this is when you pull the plug and let the kid play. Then you can build onto something for next year. But right now, this is what we got. We got a luxury with Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy, when healthy, he's been winning. But now that since he's always been injury prone, that's always been the question mark, and there's no ifs and doubts about the way he plays. I mean, he's very accurate with throwing the ball at times, but sometimes he may miss here and there, but he's more accurate than what Trey is right now. As soon as Trey starts to work on his mechanics a little bit better and his accuracy, I think he's going to be raw, just kind of like how Josh Allen is. I feel like the way he's just overthinking, and that's what most rookie quarterbacks go through. They go through panicking a little here and there because it's their first time playing the speed of the game compared to what they're playing in college. So college is a lot different than what they're playing at the NFL level. So I feel like that's what you expect from a guy like Trey Lance.
Exactly. I agree. We got to allow him to develop, man, and really get in there and just pick up the offense. And once he does, he's going to be somebody to be reckoned with. Who does he remind you of in college? I hate making comparisons, but who does he remind you of?
So looking at the comparison of Trey Lance, I've seen the comparison seem very reasonable to put in comparisons, but I got to say Josh Allen, because Josh Allen, it took him some time to work on his mechanics and his accuracy. So I'm saying that it's not a bad comparison to say he can be Josh Allen 2.0. I mean, Josh Allen, it took him until his third year to progress. And Trey Lance is in that same situation, the similar competition, the accuracy issues, that's fixable. That's what I see out of those two, and they can run also. So that's a good comparison to put into.
I like that. And Josh Allen also came from a small school, and he had some mechanics that he had to work on. Year one, he wasn't very accurate, kind of reminds you of Trey a little bit. He was more antsy to run, and you see him now developed into that passer, and you see what he's doing in the league. He's taking over the Bills, and the Bills are where they're at because of his talent. So I agree. I like that assessment, CJ. The comparison, excuse me, of him. What's up, Ramelia Sports? How you doing? Welcome. Says there are reports that Kyle wanted Mac Jones in the offseason. Trey Lance was a potential and still raw. I was very surprised how good Mac Jones looked versus the Bucks. the other day. We'll see how this guy turns out. I'm going to give you an opportunity to answer that as well, CJ. But my thoughts on that personally is, Mac Jones was never questionable a bad quarterback. We knew he was a good quarterback coming out of Alabama. At least I did. But he's more of a pocket passer. He's like a Jimmy G 2.0. And he wanted to get away from that. And you're right. Trey Lance is raw and he needs to develop. But I think right now, because Mac Jones has played more football and where he played at, he looks better. And he's going to be a decent quarterback. But I think when it's said and done, Trey Lance is going to be way better than Mac Jones. You just got to give him the opportunity to develop. And another thing about the myth that Kyle wanted Mac Jones. John Lynch, I don't care what your thoughts about John Lynch, whether you like him or you don't like him, respect him or don't respect him. One thing I can say about John Lynch, he's very honest. I've never caught John Lynch in a lie since he's been the general manager. At least I haven't. So I tend to believe what he says. And he said in an interview that on their airplane, coming back from the pro day of Justin Fields, they had just left Justin Fields' pro day. They were on the plane, and guess who Kyle Shanahan was watching on his laptop, on his iPad? Film on guess who? Trey Lance.
Trey Lance.
He was watching film on Trey Lance. And he was excited about Trey Lance, and he showed this to John Lynch, and John Lynch said, I had never seen Kyle be like this. I don't think that's a lie. I take that for what it's worth. So the myth of Mac Jones being Kyle Shanahan's choice is ridiculous to me. Now that I give you my point of it, I want you to add to it, CJ. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, to make it a fair argument, I like the fact that we manipulate the media for thinking it was Mac Jones. But I think in the past history, we all know Shanahan likes to work with quarterbacks like Mac Jones. But I had a feeling that it wasn't going to be Justin Fields. I know a lot of our fan base wanted Justin Fields. I even said it's not going to be Justin Fields. I hate to hurt your feelings. I even said it like this. And then they kind of assumed I was picking Mac Jones. I said, no, I didn't even say Mac Jones. I said Trey Lance. And I had a feeling watching Trey Lance, the way he plays, he fits the offense. With the offense he plays at North Dakota State, it translates exactly the same way as the offense we run in San Francisco. So that's how I felt that this guy would be a perfect fit. You can't go wrong with Mac Jones also because he's a solid pocket passer, but he's not going to give you a lot. He's like what you said, a Jimmy G 2.0. You want something more different. You want something at the next level. You want something like a Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes type quarterbacks, or at least a Josh Allen to take you to the next level. And with guys like Mac Jones, you're only going to get yourself a Kirk Cousins, a Matt Ryan, or a Jimmy G 2.0. So which one is it going to be? Because at some point, when defense start to figure out this offense about how to stop our quarterback who can't do a lot, it makes us one-dimensional because we're good at running the ball. The sooner they stop our running game, it's going to make them want to have our quarterback beat them throwing the ball more. And that's something that Jimmy hasn't done well, except against the Saints. But other than that, he hasn't proven that after that. So that's what you look at. When you look at guys like Trey Lance, he can run the ball. He can extend the plays. He can really throw in those deep balls. And that's something that Jimmy has not done. Like you said, he would throw it to the fullback. But if you look at the way Trey Lance throws that ball to, it's like right up to Deebo Samuel. And it was a perfect pass. And that's what I like about him. But one thing about what's different about the difference between why they would think Mac Jones would go to Kyle Shanahan, it's been nothing but BS. I'm just saying it like it is. I don't think it was the truth to begin with. I just think the media was just overhyping it.
Yeah, it's all about clickbaits with the media. It's all about getting people engaged. They knew they would piss off a lot of 49er fans with a statement of Mac Jones. And I think what sold it a lot, CJ, was Kyle's friend. I'm thinking, help me out here. I'm thinking of the quarterback.
Don Beck.
No. The one that has a show on the. He's part of the media now. He's his dad was the head coach. I mean, his dad was a quarterback for the Giants. I can't think of his name. He's Kyle Shanahan's best friend, and he's part of the
Oh,
media.
Phil Sims.
Phil, thank you. Not well, Phil, his son, Chris Sims.
No,
Mister,
Chris Sims. Yeah, there you
yeah,
go.
Chris
I got
Sims.
it.
No, it's all right. You helped me out though. Chris Sims, I think, sold it to a lot of 49er fans because they know that him and Kyle are best friends, right? So if Chris Sims is saying it's Mac Jones, people are like, oh my God, he has to know something, to the truth because that's his best friend. While, listen, you can have a best friend, but when you're in the business of football, Kyle Shanahan is a coach of the 49ers. Chris Sims is part of the media. There's certain things you just can't tell him as your best friend. And boy, was Chris Sims wrong. But because he brought the narrative, because he said it was going to be Mac Jones, people bought into it. 49ers bought into it more. And again, it's all clickbait as well, bro. So I agree with you 100%. It wasn't going to be. And the thing about Mac Jones, too, as good as he is or will be, you want a quarterback that you can play 11 on 11. Jimmy and Mac Jones is always going to be 10 on 11. With Trey Lance, Justin Fields, uh, uh, the quarterback for the Bills, all those type of quarterbacks, it's 11 on 11. And so you're always going to have to defend where the quarterback's going to do. Is he going to pass? Is he going to throw? So those are the things that I like about Trey. You just got to give Trey an opportunity to fall into the place where he needs to fall into. Real quick, I just want to acknowledge Mr. 49er Minded. Welcome, Bashar. How you doing, brother? Welcome to the show. He says, what's up, Sickness and CJ?
What's up, Minded?
Mr. Minded. You guys check out his show. If you guys haven't been part of his channel, 49er Minded is starting his broadcast on YouTube as well. He is growing steady, but he's definitely growing. He's a great guy to watch. He has a lot of guests on his show as well. So check him out. I'll be honest with you. I should have had the links posted on the bottom, but this morning chaos broke loose, man, and it threw me off my game, bro. But here we are, nevertheless. Corey Davis says, CJ Ruthless Sports and Niner Sickless, who is going to be the backup for Jimmy G versus the Colts? Go ahead and answer that, brother.
It's obvious, Nate Sudfeld.
Yeah, who else is there?
Nobody else,
Yeah.
unless Trey Lance can make it out there. But yeah, I like to give a huge shout out to Luke Luna because I just shipped him something for like in the morning. Hopefully he gets it, man.
Yeah, Luke Luna's a cool dude, man. I got the opportunity to bless. I gave him a free jersey. I gave him I believe it was a Kittle jersey, and so he's sporting that. So it looked good on him. Cool dude.
Yeah, I gave him a plaque of Freddie Solomon. Hopefully he enjoys it.
Oh, right on. 49er Miner says Watson might get traded soon, but who knows when he'll be able to play due to the legal issues. Yeah, his situation is tough, man. The talent is there, but with the issues that he's going through, it's hard for any team to try to pick him up right now and invest money in him. They're definitely going to wait for everything to play out. So I don't expect to see him on the field at all this year. If next year, maybe. What's your thoughts on him, CJ?
Well, it's nothing to do with the 49ers, but it's really had to affect what
I
the
like that.
NFL looks for at quarterback. So any other team's not going to want to get him right now. So maybe by next year, if you're lucky, then maybe you can get him. But I think it has to clear out the case first. And it's terrible for the Houston Texans to go through this disaster. The fact that they don't have no leverage for trading Deshaun Watson really hurts their value now since he's going through this allegation.
Yeah, and personally, and this is just me bringing up theories, man. The Niner sickness being Niner sickness, but I think that it was the organization that leaked all that out to hurt him, man. Because where was all this information before? Where was all this? If this is such an issue, he's been in. How long has he been in the league, and barely this comes out? I don't know. Again, it's just me speculating and conspiracy Niner sickness, but I think that a lot of it had to do with the ownership of the Texans, man, doing him dirty.
Yeah, organizations could be like that. Just look at the Washington football. Look at the way they're doing business.
Yeah,
Don't you
that
figure that?
how does John Gruden, even though he's everything that he's done, he deserves to be where he's at. But I'm not making no excuses for the dude. But how does
Yeah,
he
there's
go
no
from
excuse.
how does he go from investigating the Washington football team to to the dismissal of a coach that is in a completely different team? That's
Yeah,
weird, man.
it just doesn't make any sense. And you know what doesn't make any sense is the fact that it took them so long to eventually retire Sean Taylor's number, but now they got the scapegoat. They got Jackson Mahomes as the scapegoat of their scandal.
Yep.
So don't ignore the fact that it's still a scandal by Washington. They might be going under investigation too. So I'm just saying, a lot of this Washington organization, Dan Snyder is just I don't know. He's not a good owner.
No, no. He's ever since he came into the league, he came headstrong. He in the beginning, I remember him when he bought the team, and I remember back in the day where he was trying to buy. He was trying to be the Yankees of football, where he was trying to buy Super Bowls, and he brought in. I mean, he overpaid for all these players that he brought in, but they were never able to gel together. And it's not you can have all the best players on the team. It's not Madden, man. It's not automatically you bring all these good players on Madden and you have a good team and you can defeat people, right? In real life football, these players have to gel with one another. They have to work with one another, and it's you can bring all the best players, but if you don't have a good chemistry there, which I believe they never had, this is why they lost so many games with great players there in Washington. And it's such a chaos there, bro. It's such a bad organization, bro. And you're right. Daniel Snyder is one of the worst owners. I don't think he's the worst. I think the Chargers owners, brothers, Spawner brothers, they're right up there with him.
Well, the
But
Davis.
and yeah, that one too. You know what I
Well,
mean?
let's get on to that topic about it. Like, why did the owner not take accountability for John Gruden? Like, he should have just he came up with the weirdest excuse. Or something about ask the NFL. They know all the info. That to me sounds suspect. Like,
Yeah,
why would you?
they
You
found
got to
out
take accountability.
they found out on Friday, and they still had him coach on Sunday. But I this listen, they no excuses again. But they got only one email about Gruden on Friday, and they were trying to kind of like dismiss it underneath the rug and still go with Gruden. And I believe that if the other emails that came out on Monday would have never came out, he still would have been on the roster as a head coach for the Raiders, based on that one email. But because the rest of the emails came out, and at that point, it was just too much to hide underneath the rug. They had to make a decision to let him go. But I don't think it was because they wanted to. It was because they were forced to, and that's sad.
Yeah, pretty much. But speaking of all that in the NFL, yeah, it's like everybody's having issues with all this, but let's look at the bright side of the Niners. We got the Colts coming up. What's the chances of us beating the Colts? That we'll have to wait and see how it goes. I mean, I'm pretty sure DeForest Buckner wants payback. I think from what I'm hearing, he wanted to take less money to stay with us, and we didn't offer him that.
No, that he made in a statement where he said himself that John Lynch asked him to take a pay cut, and he told John Lynch, "I have a child on the way, and I got to put my family first." So it was a money situation where they needed him to take a because they made the thing about the Niners, they made him an offer in 2018. He did not take it, so it wasn't like they didn't make him an offer. They just he wanted Eric Donald's money, and I'm sorry, he's not Eric Donald's in the same field as Eric Donald. So Eric, oh my goodness, I just butchered his name, Aaron Donald. Excuse me. The boy Ramilia's like, get your shit right there, Niner sickness. But Aaron Donald, he's not in the same category. Listen, for the Niner fans that are concerned about Buckner, leaving and we're stuck with Eric Armstead. Hey, hate me if you want. Don't follow me if you don't want. That's your choice. But I'm going to keep it 100% real all the time. It's not about followers for me. It's about just expressing how I feel. Eric Armstead to me is because he has Nick Bosa is a bigger benefactor than Buckner. Look at the stats from PFF of Buckner this year and look at Eric Armstead. Eric Armstead graded at 89.9. DeForest Buckner has graded at 73.5. Okay, what does that mean? It means that Eric Armstead is causing more havoc to opposing offensive linemen trying to get to the quarterback than DeForest Buckner is. And I think that both of these defenders got paid because of a Nick Bosa type of player. They both need a pass rusher like that so they can get their game going. And so those that wish that Buckner would have stayed, I don't get me wrong, I love Buckner. I have his jersey. I love the guy, but when he's and I understand he's starting a family and everything, but come on, you're in the pros. You don't have to. I'm pretty sure you can support your family, $18 million a year compared to 22. Come on, there's people that work regular jobs that support their jobs. So I'm not gonna fall bad for a guy saying that he wants to support his family when he turned down 18 plus million a year, bro. You know what I mean? You know, what would you do to make 18 million a year? You know what I mean? So let's not get it twisted. It's not like they didn't offer him enough money to support his family. He just wanted in the 22 bracket, which he got from the Colts. But the Niners were not going to pay that. And I'm glad they didn't pay him that.
Well, it seems to me that's what it is with these players. It's money, money. But in all seriously, I'm just not a big fan of Eric Armstead. I'm just not. Like, I've seen how he is. When you give him lesser talent, he doesn't produce. Look at DeForest Buckner.
Buckner's the same
No,
way.
no, Buckner. Look at the stats from the previous year when Buckner had was it like 2018 or something? He had like 13 sacks, and what was the talent that he had around him? He did all the work. The thing with Eric Armstead, okay, the previous year with Eric Armstead before he got a contract, he had 10 and a half sacks or something like that. That was because of Nick Bosa and the rest of the guys. But after Bosa and Buckner were gone, what did he do? Produced 3.5 sacks and barely was a non-factor. I guess it's got to do with the double team stuff, but that's the same with DeForest Buckner. DeForest Buckner, he was double teamed, but still was a factor. I mean, I'm not saying that we can disagree on everything, but I'm just saying Eric Armstead is what he is. But hey, keep him happy around here is all it is.
Yeah. No, I hear you. And everybody's entitled to their opinion, But I can tell you this. If you ask me who's playing better this year, it's definitely Eric Armstead. So, and he's playing for us, and that's all that matters, that he's playing well. And we'll see on Sunday. We'll see DeForest. But again, I have nothing against DeForest Buckner. It's not like I don't like him. It's just I don't think he's worth the Aaron Donald money bracket. He's not an Aaron Donald type of D tackle. So I think 18 was fair for him. But then what do I know? I'm just a fan. But sometimes players just want to get paid. I understand they're looking out for themselves. I understand this is a dog world. I understand that the NFL or the organization doesn't care about you as a person, and they say they do, but they only care for you when you produce. If you're producing for their team, they love you and they take care of you. But you don't see the Niners or any organization taking care of their second or third string player like they do the first rounders, right, or their stars. It's not a fair or equal opportunity in the NFL. They tend to give players that can ball a little bit more chances that they can give a third. If you mess up as a third string player, you're cut. You mess up as a starter, they slap you in the wrist and just don't do it again. Where's the fairness in that? But that's part of football, right?
Yeah, I've heard it happen before with Emmitt Smith, who showed up late to the meeting. That I guess he got like slap wrist, and the guy who's a third string or a backup, he got cut.
Yeah. See. So and the thing about it is, how much money you make dictates how much you can speak out against your coach and against your organization. The more money you make, the more you feel that you're entitled to speak up. And I'm not saying for players to be quiet and allow their organization just to rule over them, but some players do take it too far. Look at Antonio Brown. You know what I mean? He took it too far. Now I'm glad he's doing good. Somehow, for some reason, Tom Brady knows how to keep him under keep him in a leash, man, and he's doing good over there. So I'm happy for him. David Everson, how you doing? Welcome to the show, brother. Says Armstead is having a better year right now than Buckner. Yes, he is. He definitely is, and at least that's what PFS shows. And he's doing it for us. The thing about Eric Armstead, he doesn't produce a lot of sacks, but what he produces a lot is pressures. He brings havoc to the quarterback. He disrupts the quarterback's timing. He's in the quarterback's face. He's a nightmare for opposing guards in the NFL, and that's what he needs to do. I think sacks are overrated. They're nice to have if you can get them, but I'd rather have 14 pressures and no sacks than 2 sacks and 2 pressures. I think pressures to me are more valuable as a defensive player and someone that loves defense. I think sacks are not as worthy as pressures. I think if you can get both, hey, the more the merrier. But I'd rather have pressures than sacks. What's your thought on that there, CJ?
Well, pressure equals turnovers. That's what people look at. But the stats that doesn't get talked about is mostly the way you create pressure is what gives you the turnovers. The quarterback pressures. It kind of determines your team. If your defense steps up and puts your team in good field position for the offense, this is what you look for. You capitalize. So I can agree on certain parts, but of course the sacks are a little overrated at times. But for you to get some of those recognition, people look at those stats. But if you look at the like what you said, the PF grade, whatever that it says, it tells you how good they are, even if the stats don't speak for it.
Exactly. And the thing about it is, Eric Armstead, whether he's liked or not, he's been bringing pressure. I mean, look at the new guy we brought in, Samson. He hasn't done as much as we thought he would do. D Ford is still just being played on third downs, which I thought he would be. The fact that he's still playing for us is still great, but he hasn't been really effective. The one that has been effective and the one that I want to pay and we should pay is Nick Bosa. So keep in mind, if we would have paid Buckner the money that he want, people might say we can still pay Bosa, but Bosa is going to have to get paid, and eventually, if trade turns out to be the way we all think he's going to be, he's going to get paid. So eventually, players are going to tie up money, and you got to make sure that you put that money, with the right player. Now, some people think Buckner's better than Armstead. So be it. But for the money, Armstead is not that bad for the money that he's getting compared for the money that Buckner's getting. So if you look at it in a financial point, Eric Armstead is producing more right now for less money than Buckner is for more money. So right now, this year at least, it looks like a win for the Niners. The Niners are getting more money for their bunk for their money, or however you want to call it. They're getting the special on saving money with Eric Armstead and getting more production from him. But we'll have to wait and see. Let me ask you, the game against the Colts, what kind of game do you think DeForest Buckner is going to have? And if he does have that type of game, who's going to be the offensive guard or tackle that is going to be under the job of taking care of him?
Well, if I had to put my matchup, I don't know if I would want to put Brunskill against him, but I think it would have to be Laken Tomlinson. Laken Tomlinson might be the only best matchup, but then your center, Alex Mack, would have to block him. And I don't know. I'm not as confident with this offensive line in the interior position, because if Buckner wants to have payback and have a homecoming, he's going to have a good game. The only thing is, can we neutralize it? Can we actually throw the ball away quickly and avoid that sack or pressure from him? Then maybe we could be able to do that. But I feel like this is something for him to prove, because I think he wanted to prove to the organization that you made a mistake by trading me. That's kind of like how he would feel.
Yeah. Well, all players are going to do that. Just it's part of the nature, man. If you get fired supposedly and you get to face your old job for whatever reason, or you always want to show your ex-employer that they made the mistake in the decision they made. But I'm hoping if Eric Armstead has a better game in that game than Buckner, I'm going to be happy with that. And nothing against Buckner, but Eric Armstead is wearing the red and gold. Buckner isn't. So people might say, well, you don't like, I say, do you really want Buckner to have a better game than Eric Armstead? No, because if he's having a better game, guess who's having it against? Us. So we want Eric Armstead to have the better game in that particular game. At least we don't want Buckner to have a good game. Because if he doesn't have a good game, that means we are controlling the line of scrimmage offensively and we're able to get them all. So let me ask you as we go forward, let's talk a little bit about the Colts game, CJ, if you will. Who do you think is the key on offense to win the game this Sunday? What do the Niners need to do on offense? And then we'll get to the defense after.
Okay, on offense, we just got to be able to establish a good running game, be able to wear down that defense. Our passing game, of course, you want to future Debo Samuel, but why not involve Brandon Ayuk a little bit more than expected? Give him some more dosage of Ayuk in the passing game. Try to mix it up with Juwan Jennings and Trent Sherfield a little bit. Get these guys in a little bit. Get some spark. Ross Dwelly needs some touches. Use check. Use them in every now and then. But most of all, try to get more carries for the running back. Elijah Mitchell and Trey Sermon need to get more carries. At least have them combinedly touch the ball at least 20 plus touches a game. Kind of split it. See which one's the hot hand and go with it.
You said, I like that, brother. You said that we have to get back to bases, man. We don't have I don't feel that we have an identity this year. Our identity has always been run the ball, and we kind of gotten away from that. And I understand we lost Raheem Mostert in the second play of the first game that was not expected. I understand that Jeff Wilson Jr. got hurt prior to the season even started. But you do move up into the third round. You trade, especially with the Rams, our rivals, to get Trey Sermon out of Ohio State. So there must have been something they liked about him. You draft Elijah Mitchell. We are getting JaMycal Hasty back for this game, so that is going to be also a good player to use. But you're right. Get back to the bases. Run the ball, pound the ball, because that opens the play action. That opens the ability for Jimmy to do what he does best. Now, we will be without our best tight end, best blocking tight end, best catching tight end. So this is where I personally think that BA needs to really step up and support Debo Samuel. Right now, BA needs to step up. Why? Because the lack of Kittle. He needs to help out that offense and the pass catch. Ross Dwelly, I like him, but I don't expect much from him. As long as he doesn't drop the ball, gets us a couple of first downs, I'm okay with that. And as Juice, I think he's going to be used more to block than anything else. But you're right. Feed the rock. I mean, in the game against Arizona, Trey Sermon only got the ball one time for 7 yards. That came in the late third quarter, I believe fourth quarter, which is ridiculous. You gotta feed the rock and allow it helps out your offensive lineman, it helps out your quarterback, and it helps out your receiver. So I agree with you. Feed the rock, move the ball, and it opens up the play action, and hopefully we can do some damage offensively. Let me ask you, defensively now, who do you think the defense needs to do to get this win against the Colts?
Okay, defensively, man, the one X factor to me that has to step up is it has to start off with our defensive line. We got to get to Carson Wentz. We got to be able to create the pressure and get some interceptions, or at least get some sacks, but contain them because the guy can scramble. But I want the secondaries to at least get some interceptions. That's been the only issue is we only had one interception this season by Dre Greenlaw, which is a linebacker, but we need that secondary to step up. So I feel like we need to capitalize on turnovers.
That's good. I like that. You're right. Turnovers are always a defense friend. The more you can get the ball turned over, the better you can help out your offense. I expect I expect a big game from DJ Jones. I want DJ Jones to have a good game, and I know a lot of people, especially the remarks that Javon Kinlaw said on Twitter or his IG, stirring up the pot, which is, I guess, if he can back it up, is fine. But the guy is like, man, it's like, how do they say you're writing checks that your body may not be able to catch? You know what I mean? But I understand he's starting up the pot. But I expect DJ Jones to have a big game. I would like him to have a big game, I should say. And I want to see Josh have a good game covering the receivers. Out there now. I know they have what's the name that came back. I'll keep want to say Reggie Wayne, but I think is that it. I'm
Oh, which one? The cornerback we got?
No, the receiver for the Colts. They just came back from injury.
Oh, T.Y. Hilton.
T.Y. Hilton, thank you. Reggie Wynn's retired. Sorry. Yeah. T.Y. Hilton, he's back. He's starting to get his move, and so we're definitely going to have to our hands full with him there. But a secondary best friend is what a good pass rush. If we can develop that pass rush and put that pressure on the quarterback, especially Carson Wentz. Let's keep it real. He can burn you on some plays, but he's not good under pressure. Well, no quarterback really is, but he's no Aaron Rodgers, man. So he can get rid of the ball quickly, as Aaron Rodgers did. If we can put pressure on Carson Wentz, you just can't give him enough time, because if you do, he will make you pay for it. But I think if we put enough pressure on him, he'll make enough mistakes for a Fred Warner to capitalize on. Maybe a Jimmy Ward can capitalize on, or our corners. But I do love that Emmanuel Mosley has been playing good, man. He's definitely stepped up. We just need Josh Norman to do his thing, and it will be fine. So let me ask you, what do you think the outcome is going to be of this game? What's your score prediction for this game, and why?
Well, score prediction. Okay, score prediction and why. Until I believe it, the offense needs to step up.
Okay.
And I don't want to sound brutally honest and harsh on the fan base, but I don't know how we're going to feel about the Colts. I mean, their defense is not that bad. Their offense is a little bit kind of competitive. Our defense could do so much. So if I had to pick a score prediction, I had a confident feeling that we might lose by 11 points, but I'm kind of going on the limb and saying, you know what, we might play a lot closer now. So I'm feeling like 20-31, but the Colts for some reason. I don't know. It's just I need to see some more out of this team's production. The offense just hasn't been a non-factor. It hasn't really produced much for me to feel confident. The defense is not the problem. I feel like the defense is actually making a lot of good improvement.
So you're taking the Colts on this one?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Interesting. Well, you definitely keeping it brutally honest, as you said. And you know what? I respect that. I don't agree with you, but I respect it. The fact that you're as a Niner fan, and the thing about it is, you're not in your feelings. You're speaking based on what you've seen, and what you expect to see. And are you far fetched to say that the Colts are going to win? No, because the Niners have been playing lousy offensively. But they have lost all these 3 games by a margin of 10 points or less. So or below, not even double digits, if I'm correctly, but I think the Niners are going to make a statement this weekend, Sunday Night Football. They're going to make a statement. They're going to get back to the drawing board. They're going to get back to what works for them, and they're going to beat the Colts. Not only beat them, but they're going to beat them pretty soundly. And I think our defense is way better than their offense. And I think our offense is, if they play right and they run the ball, their defense is not that great. So, and the fact that we're playing at home, and we got to win a game at home, man. We played 2 games at home already, and we lost both games. So we got to give the Niner fans a win at home. But a lot of it's going to dictate what Kyle Shanahan does on this game. But hopefully with this bye, they're can you hear my birds, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are pissed. Hold on.
Yeah, I apologize on my cat being on top of the table.
Oh no, that's fine. My birds, I usually take them out for a couple hours before I do a show, so they kind of, but they are pissed. But anyway, I apologize for my birds hawking in the background. But yeah, man. So I think if the Niners run the ball, if they control the clock, and keep Carson Wentz off the field, the Niners have a great chance of winning. We are going to miss Kittle, but I think we can get by without Kittle in this game. But if the Niners don't run the ball, if Jimmy throws interceptions, it's going to be a long day. And for me to sit there and say, you know what are you doing picking against the Niners? But listen, I thought about it as well. You got to look at all the factors. You got to look at what the Niners have been doing the last 3 games, and they haven't been impressive offensively. So there's room for doubt. So you're taking the Colts. Hopefully you're wrong, because if you're wrong, that means we won a game, and I think you'll be okay with being wrong, uh, knowing that the Niners won. So before we call it a show, bro, because these birds are getting really crazy on me, let me ask you once again, where can people find you? What are your plans in the near future? What is CJ Ruthless Sports Channel all about?
Look for me on CG Ruthless Sports on YouTube, social media on Instagram, CG Ruthless, and Twitter, CG Ruthless. My platform for the future is to do just more than 49er content, do a little bit of all 32 teams, and at least expand into the NFC West. I know that my brand's starting to grow here and there, but my 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 channel purpose is for 49ers, of course, but I want to just do a little bit of everything.
So okay, so your channel is more open for not only football but like NBA, baseball, just all type of sports.
A little bit of mostly like I want to do a little bit of college football and do some wrestling content also, but I know I probably got to mix it up a little down the road, but I'm more strictly on 49ers and whatever comes on 32 teams that pops up in my head on the article, then I might report it every now and then. But whatever's recent 49ers news that I see pop up maybe about a couple seconds ago, I'll probably just post it here and there.
Okay, okay. So, all right, guys, you guys heard it here on the Niners Sickness Report. CJ Ruther Sports is not only 49ers, primarily his 49ers, but he'll talk WWE, he'll talk wrestling, he'll talk baseball, basketball, Lakers. Lakers took an L yesterday against the Warriors. People, don't panic if you're a Laker fan. Don't panic. It's just game one, for crying out loud. People are saying that we are definitely old and we played old. I think they just have to. I think what did we have? Not to get away from the Niners a little bit, but being that you're a Laker fan too, we added how many players that are new? They have to gel, bro. So I didn't expect
Yeah,
them to. I don't expect them to just come right away and playing together and be dominant. But wait towards December. Excuse me. Yeah, December and January. I think we'll be playing much better ball than we did yesterday.
Yeah, it takes time with all the players to gel, but there's quite a few familiar faces that were with LeBron, but I think the other new ones are kind of like the ones we're not like really quite there. But yeah, give it some time. I think it'll get there. But just because the fact I picked the Colts does not mean I have no doubt on my team. I just have to be realistic about it. And I like to be wrong because if I'm wrong, then I'm winning. That's what I look at.
Yeah, it's sad that you had to clarify that, because just because you're realistic and you pick against your team based on how your team is playing does not make you any. This is what people need to get themselves out of their emotions. It doesn't make you any less 49er fan. It doesn't make you a hypocrite. It doesn't make you a fake fan. A lot of people will tell you, "Oh my God, no matter what, you got to pick the nine." No, no, no. Keep it real, especially if you were putting money on a bet. I bet you a lot of these 49er fans that will call you a hypocrite quietly would put money in the other team, depending on who we play. So you're keeping it brutally honest, bro. I appreciate that, your honesty, bro. Fans are not always going to agree. You can still pick the Niners, and they still won't agree. So it's just a matter of sharing how you feel and being real 100%. I can deal with someone that is real than someone that is not, bro. Not everybody's always going to agree with us, but as long as you keep it 100% real, that's one thing they can take away from us, is that they can't sit there and say they will choose and pick who we want to. When do we want to be this? When do we want to be that? We keep it honest. So I love your show, bro. I love what you do, CJ Ruther Sports. Sorry it took me a while to get you on my show, but I am honored to have you on here, bro. Great show today. Keep doing your thing, bro. Continue to grow. You are blowing it up, man. I love your topics. Just one thing, bro. The other day I jumped on your thing, and I kind of felt a little bit uncomfortable hearing about a lot of Latinos and Mexican music. I had to jump off, bro. I kind of like I don't want to say racist, but I'm like I'm not feeling this today, so I jumped off, bro. But I wanted to get that off my chest, but so I left quietly. Yeah, but other than that, I love your show, bro. I love what you do.
Yeah, no worries, man. It's all good. I know my hangouts could be a little mix up here and there.
Yeah, I can get pretty yeah, yeah, it can get crazy, but you know what? It's different. It's diverse. It's it, you know, not it's not for everybody, but if you love diversity, if you love uh things like that, but for overall, I love your show. I got to take it with moderation, but I love it. I enjoy it. It's like eating out, bro. You enjoy eating out, but big guy like me, it's not healthy to eat out all the time. So I have to make sure when I eat out and when I don't. So that's the way I look at it. Not just with your show, but a lot of shows. But overall, man, you're doing your thing, man. Much respect and love for you, man. I love the gold chain. I love the glasses. I love the. So if people have issues with what you're wearing, bro, you be you, man. You be
Yeah,
you, and you,
get out of
yeah, you be you,
there.
bro. And I'll never let anybody, not that you will, but never let nobody ever change who you are based on what they say about you, bro. You are who you are, man, and you be the best CJ Ruthless Sports that you possibly can be. And if those that don't like it, they don't have to watch you, right?
They don't have to. Like I speak how I want. Yeah, dude, I appreciate you. We've known each other for quite a while,
Yeah,
and I like to see you succeed. Of course, I want you to grow like I did.
I hear you, and I'm trying to get there. To me, it's I'm more of a I don't know, more of a smaller size, kind of like kind of keep it like a knit family, kind of like keep the originals coming in and out. It's just I'm a different type of style, but I love what you do, man. I love how much you're growing. I love what's his name, Jay by the Bay, and all the rest of the guys out there doing. One thing we do, bro, and one thing I've noticed that we all support each other. We all support it.
Yeah,
We're none of us are greedy. None of us are selfish. Uh, we all support each other. We may not always agree with each other's ways, but we support one another, and that's we're a big family, man. And I've learned so much for your show. I learned so much from you, bro. So I thank you for what you do. Keep doing you, man. You rock you. Like I can't say it enough. Rock you, bro. And those that want to follow you are going to follow you. Those that don't, they were never meant to follow you in the first place.
that's true.
All right, brother. Thank you for being part of my show. Everyone that tuned in today, thank you for being part of the Niner Sickness Report. Again, everyone, thank you. Welcome and thank CJ Ruthless Sports. Make sure to go to his channel on YouTube. It's a lot of fun. If you love, he'll bring you on. He's pretty open about bringing people on his show. Just keep it respectful. Don't get crazy because he'll kick your ass right off the show if you can't keep it real. So, love you guys. Thank you everybody for watching. Until next time, I'm your boy Niner Sickness. Thank you to my guest CJ Ruthless Sports that likes to keep it what? And he left. Whoa, he left on he was not supposed to leave right away, but he left. Anyway, all right, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of the show. Love you guys. I'm out of here. Peace.